darlings, it's Melissa, your Learning Technologies trainer, here with some tips on how you can use the Coherence Map to guide instructional decisions for small groups. This is a special request from a friend, but I thank you so much for stopping by to learn with me. And if you're here from YouTube, go ahead and press like, subscribe, and click that bell so that you can be notified of all of my upcoming content. In case you're unfamiliar, the Coherence Map helps teachers to understand the progression of mathematical ideas by showing the connections between Common Core state standards among and throughout grade levels. The Coherence Map can be found at achievethecore.org, but I can never seem to remember that, so I usually just do a Google search for Coherence Map and it comes right up. Now, before we get started, make sure you know the grade level standard that you would like to map. This should be a standard that you're working on in your current unit that you want to say how it falls in the progression of mathematics. I am going to map the standards 5, NBT, 5, because that's where we're at in my current unit. Once you've mapped your standard, you'll notice that it shows up here in the center. You'll also be given some sample assessment items as well as some additional resources about that standard and its focus. The standards to the left of the standard that you mapped are what I like to call foundational standards. This set of standards will give students the foundation that they need to be successful in the standard that you have mapped. Standards listed to the right of the one that you have mapped, I like to call those upcoming standards. The standard that you have mapped is foundational for students to be successful in those upcoming standards. You will also notice that there may be standards above your map standards that are connected with the dashed lines. These are on grade level standards that are related to the standard that you have mapped. I also want to draw your attention to this little magnifying glass that's up here in the corner. When you press that, it expands out your map so that you can truly see the progression of mathematical ideas. And there's a little location icon so that you always know the standard that you mapped and you can get back there. So now that you know how the Coherence Map is structured, let's talk a little bit about how you can use it to make instructional decisions with small groups. First of all, you can use the Coherence Map to help you put preparation activities into your small groups. What I mean by that is truly looking at these foundational standards to make sure that you are revisiting those concepts to prepare students for the standard that is in their current unit. You can put a few questions on their homework, start targeting these standards in warm-up, maybe play some math games during your fluency time, put them in stations. You can use YouTube videos or Screencastify or WeVideo to make some instructional tutorials and videos to remind them of those standards, but really making sure that you're revisiting those foundational standards to prepare them for success in the standard in your current unit. I generally try to bring those things back in warm-ups, homework, stations, etc., about 1 to 3 weeks in advance. If it was a standard I really thought the students would struggle on, I would give them more time, because maybe I'd have to do a little bit of reteaching in small groups. Another way that you can use the Coherence Map to make instructional decisions on small groups is really looking at these related standards to consolidate your instruction. We all know there's always more that you have to teach than you have time for. Knowing standards that are related really helped me to be able to consolidate concepts and save time so that I can go a little bit deeper. Let me give you an example. In 5NBT5, students are multiplying using the standard algorithm. 5NBT2 is a related standard. In that standard, students have to explain patterns in the number of zeros when they're multiplying a number by a power of 10. I can consolidate those two by giving my students examples of multi-digit numbers where one of those whole numbers is a power of 10. And then as we're solving that with the standard algorithm, we can talk about if there's patterns we can see to help make our work more efficient. And you can also use those related standards to front load students for information that they'll be learning in units going forward. Let me give you another example. Remember 5NBT5, where students had to multiply using the standard algorithm. In 5NBT7, students are multiplying with decimals using concrete models or drawings. I can front load this standard by requiring students to use the area model or partial products or drawings or arrays side by side to when they're using the standard algorithm. Maybe they have a station where they're multiplying multi-digit whole numbers using the area model. To the students, they think that they're just using another strategy. But to me, I know I'm front-loading that model so that they're familiar with it when we get to the next standard. Those are just a few ways that I use the Coherence Map. Please feel free to tell me how you use it down in the comment section. And thank you so much for coming to learn and grow with me. Until we meet again, always keep growing.